Some of the most effective soil treatments in agriculture were never sold in bags or bottles. They were liquids made in simple containers, poured straight onto soil that had stopped producing, and honestly, the results were obvious within days. Long before modern fertilizer companies existed, farmers across Asia and parts of Africa revived exhausted fields using fermented liquids rich in microbes, sugars, and minerals. One of the most powerful versions of that approach is a blend of rice water, compost tea, and molasses. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but when the biology behind it is understood, it becomes clear why this mixture can wake up soil that synthetic fertilizer barely touches. The reason this liquid works has nothing to do with feeding plants directly. It works because it feeds the living organisms in the soil. Dead soil is rarely truly dead in the literal sense. What most gardeners call dead soil is usually soil that has lost microbial activity. Years of synthetic fertilizers, dry conditions, or heavy tilling can strip away the bacteria, fungi, and protozoa that cycle nutrients. When that biology disappears, plants struggle even if nutrients are technically present. This ancient liquid reverses that situation by reintroducing microbes and giving them an immediate food source. Rice water is the first component, and it is often underestimated. When rice is rinsed before cooking, the cloudy liquid that pours off contains starch, small amounts of protein, and trace minerals. That starch is exactly what soil bacteria need to multiply rapidly. When rice water is poured into soil, microbial populations can explode within hours because they finally have an accessible energy source. In practical terms, 1 cup of raw rice rinsed in about 2 liters of water produces enough rice water to treat a small garden bed. The liquid should look cloudy, not clear, because that suspended starch is the fuel that drives microbial growth. This is where compost tea comes in, because rice water alone feeds microbes but doesn't necessarily introduce the diversity that healthy soil needs. Compost tea supplies that biology. A good compost tea contains bacteria, fungal strands, enzymes, and partially broken down organic compounds that help rebuild the soil ecosystem. For gardeners who want a reliable way to produce compost material for these teas, countertop compost bins can make the process far easier. Devices like the Ouken 4-liter electric composter, the EPICA countertop compost bin, and the VEVOR Compost bin are extremely useful because they allow kitchen scraps to be collected or processed consistently. Those scraps can then be turned into compost that becomes the base for compost tea. Links to those bins are in the description, and if they're purchased through those links, a small commission comes back to support the channel and allows more experiments like this to be shared. Compost tea itself is, pretty straightforward to prepare. A handful of finished compost, roughly about 2 cups, can be placed into 4 liters of non-chlorinated water and left to steep for around 24 hours. Some gardeners actually prefer to aerate the mixture with a small aquarium pump, which really speeds up microbial reproduction, but even a simple soak will release a large number of organisms into the liquid. When the water turns a dark brown color and smells earthy rather than rotten, it's ready to use. That liquid contains the microbial workforce that will repopulate tired soil. Molasses is the third ingredient, and it acts as the ignition switch. Unsulfured blackstrap molasses contains sugars, iron, calcium, and potassium, all of which are immediately usable by soil microbes. Adding 1 tablespoon of molasses per liter of compost tea creates a strong energy source that allows bacteria to multiply rapidly after application. When molasses enters the soil along with compost tea, microbes begin consuming sugars and dividing quickly. That activity releases enzymes and organic acids that start unlocking nutrients trapped in the soil. When these 3 components are combined, the mixture becomes extremely active. A practical ratio that works well is 2 liters of rice water, 2 liters of compost tea, and 2 tablespoons of molasses. You want to stir the mixture thoroughly until the molasses dissolves completely. The liquid should smell slightly sweet and earthy, never sour or rotten. If it smells bad, the mixture has gone anaerobic and should be discarded. Applying the liquid correctly makes a big difference in how quickly results appear. In a backyard garden bed, the best approach is to water the soil lightly first so it is damp but not saturated. Then pour the mixture slowly across the surface. using about 1 litre per square metre of soil. The goal is to let the microbes soak into the top few inches, where roots and organic matter are most active. Within a week, gardeners often notice soil becoming darker, softer, and easier to dig. That change is not magic, it is microbial activity rebuilding structure. Raised beds respond especially well because they often dry out faster than in-ground soil. In a standard 4 by 8 foot raised bed, 4 to 5 litres of the mixture is enough to stimulate the entire bed. It can be applied every 2 weeks during the growing season. Gardeners who rely heavily on synthetic fertilizers often see the most dramatic improvements because those soils typically have very low microbial diversity. Hydroponic growers might assume this liquid has no place in their systems, but that assumption is often wrong. While the mixture should never be dumped directly into a sterile hydroponic reservoir, small amounts can be used to inoculate biofilters or media beds in systems that incorporate biological filtration. A diluted version, roughly 1 part mixture to 10 parts water, can help establish beneficial microbial colonies on media such as clay pebbles or biofilter sponges. This can stabilize nutrient cycling and reduce pathogen pressure in some setups. One mistake gardeners make is thinking fertilizers alone fix poor soil. Fertilizers feed plants directly, but they rarely rebuild soil biology. In fact, heavy use of synthetic nitrogen can suppress microbial partnerships that plants rely on. The ancient liquid approach works differently. It feeds microbes first, and microbes feed plants. That chain reaction creates resilience in the soil rather than temporary growth spikes. Another advantage is cost. A bag of fertilizer might feed plants for a few weeks, but rice water is essentially free, molasses is inexpensive, and compost can be produced continuously from kitchen scraps. With a reliable compost bin, again the Ouken 4-litre electric composter, EPICA Countertop compost bin or VEVOR Compost bin, are excellent options. Gardeners can maintain a steady supply of compost material that becomes the foundation for microbial teas. Those tools make it easier to turn everyday waste into soil-building resources rather than throwing it away. The visible results usually appear faster than people expect. Soil that felt compact and lifeless begins to crumble. Earthworms often appear in greater numbers because microbial activity increases the availability of organic food. Plants start producing deeper green leaves, not because the liquid contains large amounts of nitrogen, but because the microbial ecosystem is unlocking nutrients that were already present but unavailable. This is the part many gardening guides leave out. Soil fertility is rarely about adding more ingredients. It is about activating what already exists. Minerals accumulate in soil over years, but without microbial partners, plants cannot access them efficiently. By introducing microbes, feeding them starch and sugars and maintaining moisture, the entire nutrient cycle begins moving again. Gardeners who apply this mixture regularly often find that their reliance on commercial fertilizers drops dramatically over time. The soil becomes a living system again, rather than a medium that constantly needs external inputs. That shift is exactly how traditional farming systems maintained productivity for generations before industrial agriculture existed. If this kind of practical soil knowledge is useful, subscribe to Hydrohaven because this channel focuses on real techniques that experienced growers can apply immediately. Share this video with another gardener who is struggling with tired soil, because sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones: ancient liquids, living microbes, and a deeper understanding of how soil actually works.